For today's session, we're going to do a little review on the second half of Chapter 2. We're going to be looking at ratios and rates and conversions. We'll look at proportions again, and we'll look at percent applications, and percent of change. So let's get started. In the first problem, they're asking us to solve this proportion. So now, generally we use cross products. We'll multiply the extremes times the means. So we'll have, in this problem, 2x is equal to 3 times 6. 2x is equal to 18. And then divide by 2, and you'll find out x is equal to 9. Now, sometimes people will look at this and say, well, can I just look at equivalent fractions? And 2 times 3 is 6, and 3 times 3 is 9. The answer to that is yes. If there is a connection like that, you certainly can use that. Now, in the second problem, not as easy to do some mental math. Here we'll look at, again, multiplying the extremes. 3 times x minus 1 times 2 times x. So again, now we're solving a multi-step problem. We've got 3x minus 3 is equal to 2x. And now I'm going to collect my variables to one side, and I'm going to get 3x minus 2x, which is x minus 3 is equal to 0. And I'll add 3 to both sides, and x is equal to 3. Okay. Then we talked about some conversions. How many inches are in 2 yards and 1 foot? Well, we have to remember the conversion of 12 inches equals 1 foot. Now that could be helpful here. We could also think about how there are 3 feet in a yard and 36 inches in 1 yard. So again, knowing some simple conversions is helpful in a problem like that. Go ahead and come up with your inches. How many minutes are in 1 day and 3 hours? We'll stop and think about there are, in 1 hour, there is 60 minutes. So again, knowing some sort of baseline will help you to convert here as well. And again, I ask you to complete and we'll review. Now let's go on to a simple interest problem. If you deposit, this is now an application of percent. If you deposit $3,000 in a savings account that earns simple interest at a rate of 2 5/10% per year, how much interest will you have earned after 4 years? Well, you go to your simple interest formula. Interest equals the principal, which is the money, rate is the percent, times time. Well, we know principal, rate, and time, all we have to do is multiply. Remember to convert your percent to a decimal first. We now have 2 other percent problems. The first one can be used either as a proportion, an equation, or mental math because it is a multiple of 10. Find your answer and we'll share about what method you decided to use. The second problem, again, the seventh problem, what percent of 80 is 24? Again, setting up an equation or a proportion, you decide, and once again, we'll share strategies in class. Okay. Just a couple more problems. Did I skip one? Let's go back for just a second. I did skip one. Okay. All sweaters are on sale for 25% off. How much will you pay for a sweater that originally sold for $60? Again, percent application. We know that we're saving money. How much money are we saving and how much are we actually spending on that sweater? Again, you do the setup and we'll discuss it in class. Milk sells for $4.19 per gallon. The sale price this week for a gallon of milk is $2.99. What is the percent decrease to the nearest percent? If you recall, percent change, give you a little hint on this one. is the amount of change, which I call the difference, divided by the original or starting amount, and then you multiply by 100 to get a percent change. Here's a second percent change problem. The price of a child's haircut increased from $12 to $16. What is the percent increase to the nearest percent? Again, try this problem, and in our session today, we'll be sharing the answers.